flex, fresh, 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 flex, fresh, fresh, helmets, left.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my ways. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my ways. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot.
I was coming. It's that simple. It's that simple. I could have been a lot later. Okay. Because this was some stuff I needed to do. So, y'all tried. Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Sean Everywhere Show. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be messy. I mean, that's what we do over here. We're messy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I love you all. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will get into the chat. It's a lot of y'all unpopular. I don't know if they told you before you came in. Sean is popular. This happens. It's a part of life. It's okay. Okay, I'm used to it. Now I'm used to being really popular. Yeah. So welcome, 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 welcome. So I came to y'all. We were gonna do a show on Khalil, but I guess we're just gonna start with this interview because an interview happened yesterday, and we need to talk about it because we're messy. That's what we do. So again, shout out to all of y'all. Welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So as you see from the title, Shanquella was protected by Winter or Alysse in second video. Okay, in this alleged second video that the FBI has. We're gonna dig into that as well, and then also it's Gerardo. Hope I'm saying that right because I don't want to say your name wrong. He is a Mexican reporter and he works for Metropoly MX. Metropoly MX is where he works, and he's a reporter there and journalist, if you will. And he's been interviewing with people and alleging a lot of stuff. Now he's been saying a lot. Okay, he has been saying a lot. It has not just been on the interview that he did yesterday. He's been saying a lot of stuff all over the place, Lord. Okay, so we're gonna get into that. All right, now I wrote my notes down because when you're keeping up with a lot of lies, I mean, shows, you gotta write them down. Yeah. So yeah, here, flip. So everything that I'm about to say is alleged because the person that's saying it don't know. When do we start interviewing people that don't know nothing? Okay, and what I mean by that is why folk come are we interviewing people that aren't sure of what they're talking about? Hurry up. Why for come are we interviewing people about interviews with other people? Okay? Conversations. I'm like, this is weird. This is weird. So everything he's saying, he ain't saw. Somebody told him all of this. And now he coming to tell you. All right. So let's dive right on in to I know, but I don't know. Interview that happened yesterday, okay? So shout out to Gerardo and his a person of a person of a person, a fifth, sixth person story. Because did that person see it, or did somebody tell that person this story? Because every time a story is told from another person, it's told differently. It's told differently. It is. So me, you see the same thing. I'm going to explain it different because I saw different stuff. You was worried about the wrong ish. I'm all the way across the street. You look right here. So the story always changes, when it's, I heard it through the grapevine, because that's what it's given. I'm like, okay, with the sixth person story. Alrighty. So, yay. So we about to get into that. You guys are welcome. Okay. So he started off, Lord, we're talking about femicide. Yes, that's Mexico. Okay, that belongs to Mexico. Mexico got femicide. And that's when it's a crime done to a woman or a man due to gender, basically, and it's usually violent, and it's called a femicide. Okay, woman against woman, man against man against woman, femicide. All right, word of the day, femicide. So he talk about that, and we already know that, Lord. So I was just like, okay, hurry up. So then he started talking about how he got all of these police connections. How he connected with the police, y'all. So I was just like, well, technically he is connected to the police. So let's pull this up. Y'all know I'm nosy. The Independence, when this came out, okay, mysterious passing, sickening viral video. Let me pull this up for y'all. Look at the screen. Y'all, what really happened to Shanquella Robinson. So then I started to scroll because I'm nosy. And I was reading and I was like, oh, that's where I know his name from, right? Because right here, a police report provided to the Independent by Gerardo Zuniga. Yay. An investigative reporter from Metropolitan MX revealed emergency responders treated Shanquella in her apartment for nearly 4 hours before she died. So I was like, oh my goodness, it was him, Lord. I said, oh, he's just everywhere. He everywhere, Lord. So he gave the Independence, the police reports. So when he said that he got police connections, I'm like, well, maybe. Because he had the police reports. Okay, he the first one that had it, right? Because I remember we had said his name of the before. I just couldn't remember where, Lord. So then I went back and I was watching my videos because I was bored. And I was like, oh my God. Like, we totally did talk about him. I just didn't know that this is whom is, interviewing now. And I was putting a name with the face, and I was putting them together. So I'm like, oh, okay, because we heard his name before. So I'm like, okay, so he gave the Independent, just here you go. Just giving people the police reports. Okay, now, Gerardo, yes, is putting his life on the line. Yes, Lord. He putting his life on the line for Shanquella, okay? Because he is being a powerful snitch, right? He's snitching differently, okay? And Mexico, see how he is snitching. They see this? Because he done been to uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis platforms giving them certain information down there, telling on the Mexican people. Okay? Now this Mexican is going wild, y'all. Because now Gerardo, I find this a little weird that you're doing all this for a black woman. All the stuff down there happening to Mexican people. And you wanted to put you the bulletproof vest, huh? For Shanquella. Now you the bulletproof, all of that stuff down there going on with our Mexican people. But you want to put your life on the line for this black girl. I'm like, oh, find that little suspect, Gerardo. Yeah, his name is Gerardo. Look, I don't know how to say it. It is what it is. Okay? Now, Gerardo, yes, this happened. Y'all welcome. Y'all is welcome. So Gerardo, yes, that's his name. I don't hear it. Yeah, so he putting his life on the line. So he said that, y'all, that it's the second video. Okay? And how he know about this video, keep listening. It's because, yes, I know, I'm amazing. I know. Because his connection, ooh, I felt good saying that. His connection of the connection told him what happened. Not nothing about him sawing it. He ain't see it. He ain't saw it. New. Seen, saw, looked at, watched. That ain't come out of his mouth. That didn't come out of his mouth. He did not say that. Okay? So this is all El Rongo. Okay? It's El Rongo. That's the word. Them words. Those are words. Y'all probably don't get it in Spanish. This is all El the weirdo. Okay? So I'm just like, okay, Gerardo. All right? I'm still listening. Go ahead. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about his police connection. Okay? He's too big of a snitch to be connected to the police. Because that don't make sense. He all over the broadcasting lands, everywhere with this information, talking about the corruption. That's where the $17,000 came from. I'm like, oh, that came from him? I'm like, oh, no. Gerardo, no. Shout out to Lab Gas and Gossip. She said he was getting cash outs too per video. That's like, okay. Now, one of my subscribers, shout out to my boo. You know who you is. If you want me to say your name, I said. But she sent me that. And she said that she felt like the lead attorney was getting him to put up his cash app, so that people could donate to him, and whatnot, because he only making a pesos where he acts, and it only equal up to like $26 at the Metropolitan MX, like $27, $28 checks. So the leader, the attorney boy, man, boy. Here flip. He said something about that, about putting the man cash app up, which I mean it is what it is. Get your money, but I mean it is what it is. But my girl, Lab Gas and Gospel, y'all subscribe to my girl. She said I thought that was a conflict of interest. Now, Lab Gas girl, you said it. Gerardo, the people don't believe you. My girl, Boru said, pay up, sucker. Oh, I said my girl. My man, Boru, hey, brother, soul brother. Pay up, sucker. Big Doc, Peaches. She, with the super sticker. Thank you, girl. I want to get them before they can pass because y'all be, because y'all be saying stuff to me. Like, oh, you missed my super chat. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. But, yeah, right. The like is free. Do I got to go get Michael Cousin? I'll go get Michael Cousin. Oh, please tell me what you're drinking. I want some of it. It's nasty. It's nasty. I'm trying to keep a straight face as I sip it because it's like I'm sucking on nails. But girl, it's nasty. I would tell you, but I didn't want to ruin your drink, girl. I shouldn't have mixed none of this. I don't even know what I was thinking. I'm always trying to be cute and like do cute stuff. And no, I shouldn't have. It's nasty. But I'm drinking it because I'm not getting back up. So I'm just It's like drinking black licorice. Shout out to California girl. She said, "Love you, Sean. Keep it lit." I will, girl. Shout out to you. Thank you for the super sticker. Right, Mail. I will play No Weapon in a millisecond. I will go get Michael Cousin. Hi, Shanta. Hi. Okay, so I love y'all. So Gerardo is the reason the $17,000 rumor got out there when my girl Chronica Speaks. Now, I like Chronica Speaks, but I'm like, girl, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Stop the track. Like, ooh, I don't know, girl. Your source ain't looking too good. It's not looking good. So I'm gay, but he told Chronicle Speaks and other people, who I don't know. But allegedly the police stole 17,000 of the dollar from my girl Shanquella. Y'all, that was him. That was him. He said that, Gates, he said that it was L 17,000. Oh, it's what it said. And that's what it said. He told that to the girl, and then the girl went on her channel and she said it, and she put up the receipt of him saying that. So I'm just like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I'm your hair flip. So here we go. So here, what other topics? What other topics? When are you going to talk about the other topics? What other topics? What? What other topics? What? Hurry up. Name something. Name something. Don't be basic. Don't be basic. If you have ideas, let us know them. Don't let me do all the work. Don't let me do all the work, girl. Like what? Hurry up. Make a list. Check it twice. Make a list. Hair flip. And I got you. And I got you. What about it? Hair flip. So, yo. So then he told us that that the police is looking for a person. They got a warrant. They got a warrant, which we know. For a person he think is Dejanay. I said, really? We do too. We do too. We think it's her too. El so, El next, like El nexto, like we do too. What about it? Did you watch my show? We just said that. Are you watching any of these channels you going to? I know you do not know habla inglés. I get it. But okay, we already know that. Hurry up. Give us something we don't know. So he said that they got to put out the red thing. It's this alarm, it turned red. A red notice, a red letter, something red. Okay? And that the government ain't pressed everything yet. The government got to press some more stuff. Okay? And then after the government press some more stuff, okay, they're going to send it over here to the federals. And then the federals is going to press some stuff. And then whatever. Okay? So he said it's going to take 14 days, like a period, like a cycle. I'm just like, okay, hurry up. Feed us. We're hungry. Like, we're hungry. Okay? So then he starts talking about the fight. Okay? He starts talking about the fight. And then he said in the fight, somebody ran out the back room. I'm like, the back. So it was a girl, because he said a girl approached the camera. I'm like, what? Huh? Oh, okay, keep going. Okay. A girl approached, back room, whatever. Okay. That the girl heard a scream. I'm like, well, what scream? Because Shanquella in that video wasn't screaming. So is she screaming in the second video? Because he didn't say that. He didn't say if she was screaming. Because I'm like, okay, well, where's the screaming? You mean like somebody was yelling? Because screaming is like a sign for help. Like if somebody's screaming, so it's like I'm coming because that person's screaming. But if somebody's just yelling and like arguing, I mean, that's just, it is what it is. But he said a girl came from the back room. Okay. Um, he hasn't seen the video. This is being told to him again. I want to, reiterate that. Okay. Because he did not see this, with his eyes. This is somebody's telling him what happens in the video. So this woman that tries to intervene has to be either Winter, because he said a woman intervenes in the fight, all right, between Dejanay and Shanquella. So the only other two women that were present was Winter and Alysse. Okay. He didn't state which one, because again, he didn't see it. And this is something that he's being told. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Weird. But okay. I'm listening. I mean, okay. So with that happening, with the girl intervening, allegedly, Shanquella was on the floor within that point. After, but I was confused. I'll check that because I was confused by that, and I'm going to tell you why I was confused by that. But anyways, there was an argument that allegedly takes place on camera with Dejanay and whoever the other girl is, whether it's Winter or whether it's Alysse or how do we say her name? Alysse, Alice, whatever, Alysse, whatever. So she is either her or Winter, because he didn't state which he said a woman. So with it being a woman, it could have been either one. We know it wasn't Dejanay or Shanquella. So because they were in the scuffle. So we know it wasn't one of them. So the only other two women, again, was Winter and Alysse. So whoever the woman is that tries to intervene argues with Dejanay. Okay? And then the fight stops during the intervening. When whoever the female was that intervened, the fight stopped during the intervention, is what was being given. Okay. And then Shanquella was on the ground going into convulsions. Now, I want to talk about that too. Okay, so I'm not going to say the story is fake or fabricated because, again, I don't know. This is what he said. He's being told by his police source, Gerardo. So, again, I don't know. But Nazir did state some of this information. Okay, so, and I'm about to break that down. And why I say he could be telling, whoever was telling Gerardo this story could be telling the truth. I don't know, again, but could be telling the truth because some other things do align, okay? And I'm going to tell y'all what aligns, because even a liar tells the truth, okay? So, with Winter or Alysse allegedly intervening, within this fight, and when they intervened, Shanquella was on the ground, which, again, I'm confused because it's like, was she on the ground when the girl intervened, or because again, he said that when the girl intervened, the fight stopped. Okay. So if the fight stopped, then how did Shanquella get to the point of being slammed, and whatnot? Like how did that go? Because I was confused. I'm like, okay, well, so the girl walked up, start talking to Dejanay. Dejanay gets distracted and stops fighting Shanquella. Okay. So it's like, did Shanquella try to leave the room again? And when she tried to leave, did she like grab her and slam her then? Or what? Because again, that wasn't clarified. So I'm like, well, that doesn't. So was she already on the ground when the girl from the room approached, from the back room, wherever that is, came and approached? Did she come and approach Dejanay and Shanquella was already on the ground, or was it during the fight? It stopped, but well, how did that happen to her? If it just stopped, in the video. Somebody did that to her. So it's just like, well, whatever. So moving on from that, but Nazir, remember Nazir's video, and I can play it if you guys want me to. In Nazir's video, he stated that when he got there, Shanquella had like vomit on the side of her face, right? If Shanquella went into convulsions in this video, like how it's alleged in this second video, then that would make sense to him coming to the house if that stuff had just transpired pretty much not too soon before him arriving, and them putting her in that room, and then the maids finding her and whatnot, and then he pops up right after the maids allegedly find her, type of situation. There's something he could be telling the truth about that part. So, but in him thinking it's vomit, it's not vomit. She actually went into convulsions, and you can foam at the mouth, and different things like that when you're going through, especially a seizure. So he probably could have took that as the vomit, is what I'm saying. He could have been telling the truth. He just didn't realize that it wasn't her actually vomiting. It was convulsions that she had just went through before he got there. And then again, who knows if the maids actually found her? We don't know that. He was told that. He said that the maids found her. I was told that the maids found her, is what he said. He could be, but again, that doesn't mean the maids actually did. They could have lied to him and just said that, when he came in, like, why she like that, and blah, 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 because I'm sure it was not a good image, not a good sight to see. And he probably came out like, why is she like that? Oh, I don't know. The maids found her like that. She got alcohol poisoning. I mean, we don't know if the maids found her. We don't know that. That's just been something that has been said. So we don't know. We have no idea. But so with that being in the video, I mean, with him saying that that's allegedly in the video, her going through convulsions, like I said, I don't believe the doctor. I don't believe anything the doctor said. So with the doctor allegedly lying, stating that before they got there, the paramedics got there, she ceased to explain her mouth have going through convulsions, and whatnot, because that could have already happened, and the doctor could have noticed it by what the vomit looked like, and be like, oh no, that's not vomit. That's, that's probably, the doctor probably knew, like I'm saying, like right away. Because I believe Shanquella had already passed away. When that doctor got there, she was gone. She was already gone. She was already gone when that doctor got there. I do not believe the doctor, Carolina Beatrice. I don't believe her. So she could have easily just thrown that in there because, again, she's a doctor. So she sees that this girl went through convulsions or some seizure in some form. She's going to have to add that in there. Because, again, she said Winter freaked out and called 911 and all of that shit. That wasn't, we don't know what happened. They could have been sitting there for hours coming up with this damn story, and then they told Winter to be the one to call. You be the one to call 911. You call. And she did. And then they was probably, had it set up to make it look like they was giving her CPR when the first responders approached, and then they finished the CPR and gave her 14 rounds and adrenaline, all of that. If she was still, quote unquote, in some way, shape, or form alive, that adrenaline and whatnot should have helped if she still had a pulse. Since the doctor said that she still had a pulse. Okay. Y'all should have been able to revive her in some way, shape, or form. But with that type of injury, even with getting to the hospital immediately, you can still pass away prior. With that type of injury, even a ventilator, like helping you breathe, will not necessarily help. So, again, I do believe that when the autopsy states that she passed away 15 minutes after her injury, I believe that. I believed it was at around 3, and I believe that it was 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes or 10 to 20 minutes later. I believe them. I do, especially due to that injury. Like, Shanquella was not bionic. She was a human, just like anybody else. The body can only go through so much. It can only withstand so much. So yeah, no, I do not believe the doctor's report. I believe the doctor added that in there, that Shanquella had a seizure because it was clear that she had seized at some point. So she went with that. I I do. I feel like that doctor lied. That entire police report again is that doctor. This police report that Gerardo gave to Independent, yeah, and the same person that went and told certain YouTubers that $17,000 was stole from Shanquella. And all. How do you know that? I don't know. That's a little weird to me. Is it Gerardo? I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, that's a little weird. And again, Mexico is a very dangerous place, just like the rest of the world. The world is a dangerous place. But with all of the cartel speak and things in that nature, you're not just going to especially be there exposing these people and that just be okay. Like I don't understand that. Why are they dangerous until it comes to somebody like him? Especially him stating that multiple reporters that have done what he's done have passed away and not naturally in his line of work and what he does. There's been plenty of reporters off, is what he's saying. So I'm just like, well, what's so special about this case to where you would feel the need to, you ready to die for this? Like that's what it's given. But again, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But he said other people have passed away, have perished because of the work that he does. So if it's a lie, he told it. If it's a lie, he told it. But I just find that a little suspect. That's all. I'm like, well, you're pretty open doing these things on these open platforms where it's easy to be found and whatnot. You're promoting yourself, basically snitching on parts of the government, especially stating that the police stole $17,000 from Shanquella. He didn't even say her friends. He said it was the police. That's pretty serious. Because it's nothing for people to look up the officers that responded on that police report, right? Like, wouldn't they be listed? So aren't they thieves? Aren't the people on the police report, Gerardo, aren't they thieves? Because how would that conversation even come up? Say that $17,000 was that. How would that conversation even come up? Give us the $17,000 and we'll look away. How does that even happen? Like, how is the police offering it? Like they say, well, if you got some amount of money, we'll get rid of this for you. We'll take care of this. So that's what they do down there? Because I'm like, this is different. This is different. This is different. It's like, yes, he did. He said that $17,000 was stole from Shanquella. Yes, someone could have offered it, but again, how would he even own that? He's telling on the police there, like the law. He's going against the law. It's not like he's going against the friends and saying that there was $17,000 and the friends took it. He's saying out of his mouth that police took the 17K, alleged 17K that we know nothing about. Again, I've seen no proof that Shanquella has over $17,000 on her or anything like that. We heard, again, I said we heard about the 10,000, and the family has not even necessarily confirmed that money was stolen from her. Because at first I was hearing, well, not hearing, they were saying that Shanquella's father, Bernard, said it, that they stole $10,000 from her. But from what I gather, both parents, Salamandra and Bernard, are saying they're not aware of if it was thousands of dollars missing, or something like that. They wouldn't know. They don't know that. So I have no idea in that situation. But hold on, Cynthia, I want to hear her comment. She said, I watched the interview and he said everyone is corrupt. He did say something about the $5,000 that was returned from the villa. Oh yeah. That I'm not fully clear on. Again, it's hard to clarify on something when it hasn't been clarified. So I don't want to assume or guess, what it is about. Because again, I was like, I wish we had a little bit more clarity on that too. But the $5,000, Khalil did speak of $5,000, and so, but I don't know anything factual about that. Again, even the $17,000 that just came out of nowhere. So the only reason why I believe the $5,000 situation is because Salamandra said it out of her own mouth. Refund for the Airbnb. Okay, I could hear that. Um, Refund for the Airbnb. The villa costs 5,400. Yeah. So okay. So it was refunded. Like the villa refunded it, or was it like taken or like declined 5,400 or something like that? Right. Follow the money. Absolutely. Yeah, whatever mom says is believable. Right. I heard her say that Khalil asked for $5,000. Refunded to who? Good question. Was it a refund? What was it? Refunded to whomever. Refunded to who if she passed away? Right. The villa refunded the payment. Okay. So who though? And why give whatever? Because they paid the police to dip on out. I think if anybody, they paid the doctor. Honestly, if anybody was paid, I would say that the doctor was to lie for them. I would say it was the doctor. Hmm. Because again, you have police approaching a doctor and a doctor telling them what happened, calmly telling them what happened, not frantic, or anything like that, saying a story. No, calmly telling you that this was accidental. A whole doctor. Why would the police question a doctor? And that police report, again, no crime is mentioned. There is no reason for those police. That's why I said I can't even necessarily blame them. It's knowing because we're just getting certain information. So knowing that there was really a doctor there, and that with the doctor being there, and the doctor, not only was she there, she gave the whole basically statement to the police about what happened. It is as if she was there the whole time, and she wasn't. So yeah, that is sketchy because it's like, why refund? The villa wasn't the problem. If they were going to refund anything, maybe refund them Monday because they all left early. But other than that, now if the villa was in Shanquella's name, I understand why they refunded it. That makes sense. If they took the 4,500 from Shanquella, then I get that. I would understand them refunding her. But if it was anybody else, for what? Like, what are they getting refunds for? Like, I don't. That doesn't make sense to me. Why they would refund. Again, now if it was Shanquella, if that was her card that was on file, that the $4,500 came from, 5,400 came from, then yeah, I could see them refunding her the money. But the other people, for what? Now, if anything, Monday, because they weren't even there. But again, that's not the B&B's responsibility. If you book something and you choose to leave early, so now in some cases they may. I get that. If I book a hotel for 4 or 5 days and I only stay 2 days and say, give me my money back, a lot of them can, they can be like, no, well, you pay for them. I would advise you either stay or they gonna be wasted. But you got some hotels that are, obliged. You be like, oh, okay, cool. But I don't. That's a little weird. I would definitely say that. Shanquella had her card on file, her and her only. I heard that either Shanquella, I don't know if it was the deposit or if it was the actual room itself, but I do know from what was being said that because she had the villa, the main suite she had. So her car was definitely on file. It was definitely on file. It definitely was. So, with her having the biggest room, you best believe she swiped her card to make sure she had the biggest room. So, yeah, I do believe her car was on file. I do, especially having the big suite. Yes. Well, hold on. Can someone please answer something that has been bothering me this whole deal? Why did her family choose that specific photo of her? I find that so unsettling. Shook my head. I really don't feel like it was that. I think it was just more so of like social media. Um, and it was like one of her last photographs taken. So, but I don't think it was her family because I mean the pictures of her being, I don't know, if she was homecoming queen or something like that. Those pictures definitely came from her family. So I think that her family wanted more modest pictures out there of her as well. I don't think her family truly wanted that to be like the picture everybody's spotlighting, but it was beautifully taken. I feel like it was a beautiful photo. Um, I mean, but I mean, I get it. But at the same time, I don't feel like it was done in any malice, or anything like that. Yeah. So, and it's like the most popular picture of her. It's just that photo just went viral. So I mean, the family can't help that. Yeah. So, yeah. But hold on. The FBI has to get customs to let them know how much she declared when she came into Mexico. Um, yeah, but I just feel like that would have happened already. I mean, I guess unless they're hiding it. Yes, the reporter did not say 17K. He did. Not on his channel. Did he say it on the leaders? Because I don't watch the end because it was long. But from what I gathered, um, I know on shout out to Chronicle Speaks, she said that he was the one who gave her that information because she did a video on the 17K that was allegedly stolen by the police, and her source was him. She put up their messages between each other, him stating it and everything. Shout out to Chronicle Speaks. Go over there and check her out. She said it that so he did say that it was the reporter is when he now I don't know if he said it on the lead attorney because I don't watch the entire live. It was long, but I do know for a fact he said that to Chronicle Speaks. He definitely said that to her. So because she is not lying, she put up screenshots of the conversation. So I believe Chronicle Speaks. I believe that he told her that. Now, do I believe it? No. do I believe it? No. But do I believe that he told her that? Oh, absolutely. Yes. She put up receipts. I mean, there's nothing for her to lie about. She's, yeah, she put it out there, clear as day. And she doesn't lie, right? From what I gather, she's not over there lying, Chronicle Speaks. But yeah, she did prove it. She just like boom. She put it right up on the screen. So she is not making things up when she says this 17K situation. If anybody's making it up, it would be Gerardo. He would be the one making it up. I'm not saying he's making it up. I'm just saying that he told her that. He didn't send her any documentation of a 17K or talks with anyone stating that we took 17K or was 17,000 removed from the scene. Like that, it wasn't. It was just more so, I believe, hearsay, something someone told him with his affiliations with the police that he says that he has. So, I mean, there's no, I don't know if that to be true because there's no proof, but the source is Geraldo. That is where the source came from, who was interviewing last night. Jumping back into that said interview, he stated that a woman heard screams. Okay, now we talked about that a little bit earlier. And with the woman hearing screams, nobody was screaming in the video. I mean, Shanquella even spoke and answered no. She wasn't screaming, none of that. So again, and that wasn't specified. But stating that a person ran from a back room is what Gerardo said as well. Um, it had to have been Alysse or Alice, however you say her name. And the reason I say that is because Winter was already in there. She was already there. Mhm. Yeah. Winter was already in the room on FaceTime. Yeah. So if another woman came in there, then it would have had to have been Alysse. Because from what we said, Alysse or Alice, how we say it, she was the only one that I saw that wasn't on camera. I didn't see her in the camera footage from the first fight. So she could have been somewhere else. I didn't see her, so I can't say for sure that she was standing in that room. I didn't see her. Did y'all see her? Did anybody else see her? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no, if you saw Alysse or Alice in the footage, because I didn't see her. The only one I saw was Winter's hands, not even Winter's face. Winter's hands, part of Khalil's face. Malik was recording, and Dejanay and Shanquella were battling. Well, Dejanay was doing what was okay. So the majority of y'all saying in the chat, no. On FaceTime, that was Winter. No, no, no. Okay, so again, she wasn't in the room, so I'm assuming that if what he's stating happened in the video. I'm assuming that's Alysse or Alice that ran in the room. And again, Alice, I could see her not, or Alysse, I could see her not being in the room because again, Friday morning when they flew out, her sister passed away. Her sister was slain in a DV situation by her ex-boyfriend. So I could see her not really wanting to be around anyone, really wanting to kind of just chill to herself type of situation. And also, she was not at that party and playing the drinking games that they were playing the night before. She wasn't out there because, again, um, Shanquella added her in the game part of the tavern, what she said when it was send hate mail and went out to the people that flaked tonight. She put a picture up of it and she added Alysse in it. So she wasn't there. So she probably just didn't come out the room all night. She probably just stayed in there. And also, if you pay attention to the video of Shanquella walking around the house, asking where everybody's at, if you notice, everybody was in the room. Alysse was on the bed. So I feel like they were all in there, like comforting her or talking to her, and whatnot. Making the situation because they felt bad. So I feel like because they're all friends. The ones that go to Cancun together, and all of that. The fake three, they all friends. So I'm sure that was a topic of discussion. Her sister passing away. I'm sure that was definitely a topic. So she probably just didn't feel like doing nothing, type of situation, and that probably made Winter feel down and made Dejanay feel down because she felt down because that's their friend. Shanquella is not their friend. So that's why they could care less, like about her. That's why they was ignoring her, isolating her. We don't care about you. Is the vibe was given, you can't sit with us type of situation. So yeah, I could see Alysse being the only one that was not in the room. She could have, again, I didn't see her on camera. I didn't see her. So I'm not saying she wasn't in the room. She could have been. She could have been behind somebody, standing there. I don't know. Or she could have been in her room. But they were in that video when Shanquella was walking through the house. That was the room that Alice was in. Alysse was in because it's not the same bedroom, a completely different room. It wasn't the suite that Shanquella was in. It wasn't her suite. They weren't in her room. So that was the room that she was in. So is he saying that she came from down the hallway? Because that was her room. So is she the one that came from down the hallway from a back room, this back room he's speaking of, and came into the room and got into it with Dejanay? Because it's possible. Like I said, we have not seen. He haven't seen it either, but we haven't seen this, video. So she could have been. She absolutely could have been. Um, I don't know, because Winter was already in the room, so it doesn't make sense that all of a sudden she comes bolting in there. That doesn't make sense. So I don't believe that Winter was calling the police and whatnot because of guilt. I think she was calling the police and all of that stuff because what Dejanay did scared her. I think that's why she was panicking. Because I think she was scared of Dejanay within that moment, honestly. Because it's just like, damn, you killed her. Like, damn. But they say Dejanay, because he said that it's Dejanay on both videos that allegedly slams her. That's what he said. He said it's Dejanay. He didn't say anything about Winter, about it being a different woman. He was saying it was the same woman from the first one. So it's another video of the same girl doing just a different action within that moment. But I mean, because she was already, so I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I'm not going to say that doesn't make sense. That does make sense for Dejanay, because if the FBI is stating that the second video is the reason this investigation was open, not the first one, if the second one, that must be very incriminating. It must literally be her slamming her. Like it must be. The demise, the video of the demise is what it's giving. Type of situation. It's what's happening. And they like, yeah, let's open this up because look at this. She did this, slammed her and whatnot, and she didn't get back up after that. That was it. And why would they release that to the public? Again, we don't need to see it. There's no reason any of us will need to see that video. If the FBI has it, then the right people got it. Because that's who should have it. But what it's giving is that Dejanay slammed her, which makes complete sense because look at how she was flailing her around in the first video. That makes complete sense. Like I could see that. I could see that. She was very aggressive towards Shanquella. Like that was a lot. That was a lot. And again, I don't feel that it was deliberate, but it happened. That's all that matters to me. I don't think it was to literally take her life. No, but that is what happened in the process of that. And instead of telling the truth, they covered it up. All of them. They all covered it up. And I believe the doctor is involved. I don't think that they would have to truly prove. Gerardo, you need more proof if you're going to state that the police were involved. I honestly do not feel like the police was involved. If you are approaching a 911 situation, non-criminal, because the police call was a non-violent call, non-criminal call. It was just for emergency medical assistance. The police show up just in case so they can get there first because they know CPR and stuff like that. And then they take a report, as well of what happens, when they get there. So if you have a doctor, a certified medical doctor that works at a local center telling you what she said in this police report, what reason would you have, honestly? What reason would you have to second guess anything? This is a whole doctor. She responded to this medical call to come over here and help someone that had alcohol poisoning. There's no reason for them to question anything that she's stating. Question it for what? This is a doctor. Okay, you said this stuff happened? Okay, cool. They got a full statement from her and make sure the paramedics remove the body and whatnot, and the police left. It's as far as I'm getting, they just responded to a non-emergency because that's what it was. I mean, it was an emergency, but health-wise. Nobody's life was in danger, or anything like that. Nothing like that happened. Again, when you dial 911, who's ever closest is going to respond first. If there's a paramedic closer, that's going to respond first. But police are still coming either way. They're coming to take a statement. So, and they did just that. It's not like they didn't take a statement. Like they just pulled up and they said the police were there, but there's no statement from anyone that night. That doesn't even make sense. And the number one reason I feel like they used that, why they believed her, is because she speaks Spanish. So they fluently understood everything she said when she got there. I mean, when they got there, and whatnot. These are Americans. So in Americans, their first language is English. So, if they don't know English, just like if we don't know Spanish, we're not going to understand. So it's the same thing. So communication wise, I think that the doctor approaching them was simple. Just we know exactly what you're saying. They wrote it down, moved around. Instead of sitting there trying to figure out ways to communicate and whatnot, you had a translator and everything, because the doctor works at the American Center. So the doctor speaks American English and Spanish. She speaks both. Both. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if anybody else there of Cabo 6 knew Spanish. I don't know. They could have. I have no idea. Was she dead already when Azir did what he got a dead body video? That wasn't Azir. That was Khalil. And I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't. Because that altercation happened in the morning. So that was on Friday when Shanquella was asleep in the hammock. So no, I don't believe that she was gone. Because again, the fight happened the next day. And she passed away on Saturday, according to the autopsy. It's even. But yeah, I feel that it definitely happened Saturday. So no, because that video happened on Friday of her being in the hammock and the body comment came up. So yeah. There was someone in the chat that said, why am I backpedaling? I'm not. How am I backpedaling? You're weird. Shout out to Baby. She said someone reported that a female tried to break up the fight in the second video. Who they didn't say. We're gathering that it may be Alysse that may have tried to break the fight up, because Winter was already in the room. So if what he's stating in the second video is true, then it would have been Alysse or Alysse, however you say her name, Alysse or Alysse. It would have been her. But they deserve Mexican prison, and they will get it. All of them. They stated that the main aggressor, so they're definitely going after all 6. I don't feel like they're just going after just one. It would be better for them to just take care of all 6 people, just so Mexico can try to fix their reputation, because their reputation is very tainted right now, and people like, honestly, Gerardo is not making it any better, coming forward stating that the police stole $17,000, all of that from Shanquella. Like, he's not making it any better. He's just making Mexico look more crooked and more crooked and more crooked. And yeah, I don't feel like none of them are going to get away with this. I don't feel that way. They all are guilty. Everybody, everyone. But there's only certain things that they can do without having information. So if other people are involved, that's going to take Winter. Dejanay, because that's who I believe the warrant is for. So Dejanay will be the one to open up that door. Now, are there other charges that they're going to bring up on them? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But they're going to want things that are more concrete, and having people like sworn statements, because Mexico, they rock different. They don't rock how America works. So we have to stop thinking that it's the same judicial system, because it's not. They're completely different. From what Mexico is stating, there's not even going to be a trial for these people. It's cut and dry. A couple appearances in court and then do away with you, type of situation. They don't need a smoking GUN. They don't need a red-handed. They don't need none of that. They got video. They have audio. They have all type of things. The autopsy, the cause of death. They have all type of things that they're going to use against them, and they absolutely are. Everybody is guilty. Everybody, even Alysse, even her, because if You waited all the way into, I'm not even gonna say that. Alysse lied just like everybody else. Alysse, Alysse, however you say it. She lied just like all other 6 people. Everybody that said Shanquella passed away from alcohol poisoning needs to go to jail. All of them. They all said alcohol poisoning. And they know they lied. They all lied to come back to America. Every single last one of them. Even the doctor. Even the doctor. The doctor lied to get them back into America. This police report that we have in front of us is the doctor's report. It is not from the people that are there. That's why I feel like her speaking Spanish made it easier for the police officers to just believe her. And she a doctor. What is their questioning? What is this doctor gaining out of this girl passing away from alcohol poisoning? What is she gaining from that? Nothing. There's no reason for them to question the doctor. No reason for it. And if Winter knew Spanish, why didn't she have a statement? She did not have a statement. She didn't. None of them. The statement came from the doctor. None of them are on that police report giving a statement. None of them. So that means that they didn't get a statement from them. They got a statement from the doctor. Is why they believed it. Again, what is the police questioning a doctor for? The scene ain't suspicious. It's not like it's, blood everywhere. It's nothing like that. This was internal. So it was no like true obvious sign to where she was slain. There wasn't, it wasn't, besides the bruising and whatnot on her face. I mean, if they even looked at that, who knows? Even if they paid attention, we don't know. We don't know. But the doctor gave the statement. Send it to my IG. Send it to my IG. If he got arrested last night, please send it to my IG. Shine Everywhere Show at IG. Please send it to my IG. I will pull it up right now and we can look at it. So yeah, we don't know. She probably went because she already paid for the trip and couldn't get her money back. I believe she went because her best friend Khalil asked her to join him. Honestly. Her best friend said, come and join me. I don't feel that Shanquella went to hang out with the girls necessarily. I feel like she went to hang out with Khalil, and Khalil was isolating her because he was trying to sleep with Malik. He was in that video too, ignoring her when she said, where y'all at? He was too busy in the house on his knees instead of hanging with his best friend. So I feel like Shanquella feel like she really had no choice but to chill with these girls that really ain't feeling her like that. Or they ain't as close as they used to be. It never really was close, just more so saw each other in passings and maybe went to some of the same parties or gatherings, not actually befriending one another. So yeah, I feel like Shanquella went simply because her best friend said, join me. He was her best friend. 5 years, 10 years, they say. 5 or 10. I don't know. But that was her best friend. It'd be no different than me. If my best friend asked me to go somewhere and I can make it happen and I could go, I would go. I mean, it's my best friend. Like, why would I not? Sounds like a great time. So it's like, why would I say no? I mean, unless I had to. But if I didn't have to, if I could afford it and it wasn't a big deal, I could take the time, yeah, I would go. Just like her. She runs her own business. So with her running her own business, she make her schedule. So she has the flexibility to be able to just hop and go on a trip. No kids, no, she could just go. And that, no big deal. Even last minute trips, that would be the perfect person to call somebody like her. Somebody that got money, gonna be able to take care of themselves, and whatnot. Know they gonna go. Know you're gonna have a good time. Absolutely, I feel that that's simply why she went. I don't think it was she really didn't want to go or anything like that. No, I feel like my best friend, like, let's chill. And yeah, fake best friend, yeah, but their relationship literally changed there though. I think before they got there, Khalil was being so fake to her. I do. I feel like he was being mad fake to that girl. And I mean, none of us are perfect, so we're truly not going to be. Shout out to Agnes. She said I can see Alice or Elise helping her. Her sister's a police officer. Yeah, but helping her would not have been lying, saying that she passed away from alcohol poisoning. That's not helping her. That's not helping her. So I really don't. That's what I'm saying. Alysse is not innocent, regardless of her helping or not. She's not innocent. Her sister being a police officer should have made her want to tell the truth. That's what she should have did. That should have inspired her to know what go down if you lie about these type of things. So if anybody known better, it was her. That's why if she went to intervene, probably why she didn't in the first place, because she know better. Like, this shouldn't be going on. Okay, well, neither the after effect, neither. But they all knew. I will give them that they knew that one can't go down without all. So if the truth is not told before we leave Mexico, the truth ain't coming out. We will take this to our grave type of situation. So they left her there, passed away and all, left her there, even after the injury, left her there. So she's not innocent, like, at all. But no, I get what you're saying. With her helping. Again, I don't know the character of any of these women, but if somebody went in there to help, cool. But you still didn't do the right thing. Because if you did the right thing, she wouldn't have passed away. She'd still be here. That's somebody that did the right thing, not somebody that intervened. Because what it sounds like, the damage was done upon approach. Because I'm not sure if Gerardo was stating that she was on the floor when the third party, if it was Alysse or which we're gathering, when Alysse came in there, sounds like she was already on the floor. Or did she because it sounds like she interrupted what was going on. So that means that when she interrupted that, Shanquella was still alive. So I'm confused by that. Did she come in and argue with her because Shanquella was not getting back up? That's what I'm thinking. Like, was it that? Was it like she came in there because she heard maybe Winter or somebody screamed after they saw how Shanquella hit the ground, and then somebody screamed like, oh, like a somebody's hurt scream or oh no type of scream, and then Alysse came into the room and saw that it was Dejanay, and then they got into it, but Shanquella was already, because they said Shanquella was in the video convulsing on the floor. So if she was convulsing on the floor, then is this what the argument was about? About what she just did to her? Like, girl, like, was that what? Because that's what I'm still confused. I don't know. I don't know. Athena says Khalil is a Judas. He gave Quella the kiss of death. He is a Judas, and he also he willed that into her existence. Him stating what he said the night before on Friday, and then the next day, Saturday, her actually being what he stated, he willed that into her existence. And it's always your intention for people. And why I say that, because I know some people will be like, well, how did he will that into, death into somebody else's life? Because he could have protected her. He could have stopped all of that from happening. He was right there, and he chose not to. So with him saying we got a body, that's why it's so chilling, because his intentions for her was for her to be dead. That's how he felt about her. So he willed it into existence without even realizing that me disliking her and watching what's happening to her right now is actually about to take her life. This is literally about to, just say, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. So he willed that into her existence, because he could have easily at any moment stopped that from going on. He could have removed her from it, not encourage her and ask her why she ain't fighting back. He could have stopped it. Even within that moment, instead of speaking, he could have reacted. And if he would have reacted, she'd still be alive. But he chose not to, because of how he felt about her on the inside. On the inside, how he felt about her. If looks could kill, they would, and they did. Mhm. If looks could kill, they would, and they did. Because that's how I feel like he was looking at her like how like he was just like, that's what you get, you know, type of look, gaze upon her, like what was happening to her was deserving, because that's why he watched it. Because if you're a true friend and you know this person does not deserve this, you're gonna stop it. You will intervene. You will not let it go any further than it already had. But he watched because that's how he felt. If he could be Dejanay in that moment, he would have been. He would have been. Because why you? This your best friend. What you watching this for? Because you want it to happen. You didn't think that it would go that far. That's why you should intervene, because you never know how far things are gonna go. Nobody wakes up thinking it's their last day. Nobody. Nobody. I agree. I want them all locked up as well. All of them. None of them liked her. None of them. None of them liked her. And I will say this. With certain theories of people stating that the drinking game that they were playing that night, especially sent everybody hate mail, that flaked tonight, I don't think that it ended there. I think that they was all sending hate mail to all of you, to all of you, to all of you, to each other. I think they were when they was playing that damn game. And it may have gotten out of control. And honestly, I think Shanquella may have probably said something about Khalil being gay. Honestly, something stupid like that. But maybe the game did get out of control. Maybe it did, especially if the next morning. So say like Dejanay and them didn't read what Dejanay sent or what they were sending each other, and then woke up the next morning on some goofy shit and read it, and was just like, I'm about to go be here. And then something that dumb turned into that. I mean, who knows? But they were playing a game and it was saying send hate mail. It absolutely were. But it said for the people that flaked. So we don't know what that meant within that moment. We don't know. Because Nazir didn't make it there. Did they send him hate mail? He wasn't there. He flaked. Alysse wasn't there, but Alysse didn't do anything to anybody from what it sounds. She didn't put her hand from. Well, we don't know though, because you know it's been rumored that all of the girls had their hand at Shanquella. But I mean, she didn't do anything, so it couldn't have been that bad. But with that game, it could have turned into, you know, send somebody else hate mail in a different way, or some, you know, or send everybody in the room a message about this, or just, who do you think gay in the room, or so, who knows? It's just something dumb. But I mean, we'll find out. But whatever it was, I do feel like it was stupid, and I do feel like it possibly could have been about Khalil, for Khalil to not do anything when Dejanay was in there doing what she was doing to her. He didn't do anything. So I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just telling you what I think. You know, I'm not, none of this, it's all alleged. None of it is real. It's just what I think. So jealousy has a way of coming out at all of the most inopportune times. So if you feel some way about somebody and it's not outwardly, you will find a way. You will find a way to get that issue you have out with them. So, and honestly, I do. I think it was that Dejanay was jealous of Shanquella. I do. I feel that she was. I do. I don't know if it has something to do with Shanquella's money. I mean, it definitely could have. Because from the video, everyone's talking about, should I just pull it up? I should probably just pull it up. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up. From the video, everyone's asking where, because Shanquella's phone has allegedly not been recovered. Well, the person who had her phone was Khalil. I mean, he was the last person with Shanquella's phone from what I can see. because the night before, when Shanquella had passed out on the hammock, when she had went to sleep, when she had went to sleep on the hammock, when he was recording her on the hammock and saying that we got a D-body, that was from her phone because it was her story. At the top of the phone or of the story, it says it's Quilla. So that was her Instagram that of her being asleep inside of the hammock. So he uploaded the rest of the story because she was asleep. It was a part of her story. If he's recording her, obviously he uploaded it onto her story, right? She was asleep. He was the last person with her phone. Now, did he give it back to her? I don't know. Because she did go into the suite and sleep inside of the suite. Because that's where the altercation happened. So did he give it back to her before she, like when she got up and went to the hammock? I mean, got out the hammock and went in there and got in the bed? I don't know. I have no idea. But he did have her phone. And I'm going to put that video right now so I can show y'all if y'all don't remember. But he did have it. So being her best friend, I don't know if she just didn't have a passcode or if he knew her passcode. But he definitely had her phone. He absolutely did. He had her phone. Shut up, Sean. He had her phone. I'm about to pull this video up right now. And he was recording her sleeping in the hammock. Let's go to it. I'm gonna pull that up right now. Okay. So right here when he states, oh no, I passed it. Sorry. Okay. So it's gonna show. But in this video, when we show the video of him saying that we got a D-body and whatnot, that's from her story. This whole story is hers. This is from It's Quilla, the whole story. So if you look from the top from the start of the video to the ending of the video, it says It's Quilla. Okay, all the way through. So clearly, right here, with this video at the top of the screen, it says It's Quilla. So, and that's her sleeping in the hammock. So he had her phone last. So clearly he know where her phone at. So if the family looking for the phone, Khalil knows that. Khalil knows where it's at. When we were over here stating that maybe they were trying to, extort her, take money from her, and stuff like that, blackmail her by recording her nude, fighting, and all of that stuff. With her cell phone, and then the rumor about Khalil and Malik doing something and her allegedly recording it and it being in her phone. Well, he knew how to get in her phone, Khalil. So if she recorded something of them or, something like that, he would have definitely been able to get rid of it, type of situation. So that wasn't a big deal. What I think, if it was over the phone, because remember, she never talked to anybody after going to bed. Before that, last person she spoke to was her mom. Other than that, she didn't talk to nobody. She didn't talk to anybody Saturday before she passed away. So with that being said, and her not speaking to anyone, clearly someone had her phone. Someone had to have had it if she wasn't using it, texting anybody, like nothing, right? So they could have been asking her for her bank information, and stuff like that, Cash App information or PayPal information, Venmo, something like that, because they alleged that Shanquella had over $5,000 in her bank account. So I don't know. Now I can see Khalil having her passcode to get into her phone, but I don't know about Khalil having like her bank information or, Cash App information or whatever, money, because I'm just saying they could have been trying to coerce that out of her. I don't know. But I was thinking about that too, because I was just thinking like, okay, well, maybe it was something else in the phone that because she didn't have her phone. She absolutely right. Face ID, Los Soto, right. They could have just put the phone up to her face and unlocked it as well. So I don't know. It's like, what? First of all, they kidnapped her. I mean, and that's another charge that they need to be being charged with because she was kidnapped. She absolutely was. They was holding her against her will. Okay. Even, let me pull up this article. Where I was reading an article, and it gotta be one of the new ones. It gotta be one of the new ones. Yeah, I think it's this one. So let's read this article. Authorities in the U.S., Mexico, yeah, okay, we know that. Shanquella Robinson traveled to a resort town of San Jose de la Cabo, del Cabo, I said that, Mexico with 6 university friends for a long week stay. Oh, so it was supposed to be for a week? Was it supposed to be for a week? Because I did hear that. For a long week stay in a luxurious apartment on October 28th. Within 24 hours of their arrival, the 25-year-old was dead. Ms. Robinson's friends delivered her suitcases to her heartbroken parents, Bernard and Salamandra, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and claimed that she had died of alcohol poisoning after a day of heavy drinking. The friend's story was discredited when an autopsy released on November 10th revealed Ms. Robinson had suffered a severe spinal cord injury and broken neck 15 minutes before her death. The death certificate was obtained by Independence. Okay. So, hold on. Where's her? No, that's not what we want. Share my clip. Okay. The disturbing clip of the attack went viral on social media, and in the face of apparent inaction from authorities, the hashtag Justice for Quella soon began trending on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Since then, major discrepancies have emerged between the Mexican authorities' official account of what transpired before Shanquella's death and what others claimed happened that night. A police report provided to Independent by Gerardo Zanga, Zuniga, an investigative reporter for Metropolis MX, revealed emergency responders treated Shanquella in the apartment for nearly 4 hours before she passed away. In that report, the police claimed the alarm was first raised at 2:23 on October 29th, just one day after Ms. Robinson and her friends arrived at the luxurious resort. A doctor arrived an hour later, which would have been around 3:30, to find Shanquella verbally unresponsive. Not long afterwards, she suffered a seizure. Okay, so y'all see that doctor made sure she put seizure in this report. She made sure it was in there because she knew that had happened. Now with that second video, that definitely could have happened. Okay. Now let's go back to the so. Okay, not that. Cross as direct aggression. We can't sound. Blah blah blah. This is not it. It may be this one. Sorry. It's this one. It's a lot of information. Pull up. 4 hours. Yeah, I know. I thought it was 3 because what didn't it say it was 3? Didn't it say it was 3? In this report, okay, is this one? I'm going to slam. Second video, third video. I'm walking in the villa. Blah blah blah. I post docs online after. Yeah, we don't care about them being docs. That's what they get. Okay, anyways, but I'm gonna find it. So there's a report on here that states that she was trying to exit the room. That from what they were told and what they see in the video, Shanquella was trying to leave the room. Okay, I absolutely believe that because you can tell in the video because Dejanay is standing right in front of the door, in front of the sliding door. She's standing right in front of it. Yes, go look at my channel. Yes, there's new videos up. Did any one of her friends work for her as an employee? You are fabulous, Sean. Thank you. Thank you. Not that I know of. I don't believe anybody worked for her. I know that her and allegedly Khalid was supposed to have some type of business ties to where I read somewhere that he wanted her to invest in something because he is allegedly an entrepreneur as well. But as far as I know, no, nobody was an employee. None of the people that were there, at least. This is a lot unless you all won't hear from anywhere else. This has drained me. No, I absolutely agree. That's why I try to add a little comic relief in there because this is a heavy topic. It is heavy. And it's hard to keep this type of topic entertaining because it's not entertaining, but people don't want to be bored, watching something. They still want to be entertained. So, from what I hear, from what's being told, Geraldo is going on platforms, interviewing, stating that he's been told about the second video, about this alleged slam. So we don't know. We allegedly the FBI is the only people who have set video. Um, we will see. I hope so. I really hope so. I really hope that all Cabo 6 go down. I really do. So at this point, because I'm gonna look for, but there's one article that I was reading that was like Shanquella was trying to get out of the room. Now I'm going to drop the link, okay, because we're at our hour and a half mark. I'm going to drop the link. Please try to keep the profanity to a minimum, if not at all. That would be great. Please don't come up here with the R word and all of that. We don't have no proof of any of that. So, but I know y'all have been asking to join. I've had people message me like, oh, it's impossible for us to join. Absolutely. You absolutely can. So I'm going to drop the link. Feel free to come up. Please make sure you are liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Please, 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 please. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Again, this has been a lot. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. This has been a lot. For example, to move any state, you have your what? Until when you see there were changes. Okay. You're welcome. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to drop the link. Don't be afraid. Please feel free to come on up. I'm a very nice person. Carolyn said, please stay on topic. Carolyn said, please stay on topic. Okay, oh, y'all jumping up here. Hi, oh my goodness. Okay, y'all people coming up here. Y'all better come get y'all seat. Y'all better come get y'all seat. They jumping up, they hopping up here. Y'all better come get y'all seat. They ready. They're back there waving and everything. They coming, y'all. So come on up here. It's a good time. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm just gonna sit here and listen to y'all. If y'all have any questions for me, I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. So all of them do. The U.S. should prosecute. I agree. Okay, now there's a lot of people up here. I will ask if you are not speaking, please mute. Jump in when you want to. Just please be respectful of each other. There's no reason to argue. Just enjoy yourselves. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna put my banner up for a while just to make sure there's no tomfoolery. Again, letting strangers come onto the platform. So, okay. So I'm just turn my camera off for a little bit. Now I'm gonna pull everybody up. Okay, I'm just gonna pop y'all up. Everybody's up. You're coming up. You're coming up. You're coming up. If you would not like your camera on, please turn it off. If you want it on, that's just fine. But yeah, so y'all jump right on in. There's a lot of you. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Hold on, let me move this.
Good, Sean. This is Miss Pat. I had a question that I've been really wanting to ask you. And first off, before I ask the question, just let me just thank you, Sean. You have been doing an amazing job. I wish I could give you an
I was kind of
award
looking at this phone.
for really just focusing on this for justice for Shanquella Robinson and her family. So I just want to commend you for that, Sean, first off.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the question I've been really trying to find out is, does anyone know if the Cabo 6 have lawyered up at this point? Because I have never seen anything like this with such an international breaking story. They're completely silent. So does that mean that they may have gotten attorneys? Does anybody know that? Do you know that? That's my question.
I don't know.
I think that is a really good question. And I think that if they are smart, they would have definitely done so. And the reason why I think, well, and the reason why I say if they're smart is because if they're going to fight the extradition, this will be the time to do so. They
Mhm.
will fight it now, while they're here still in the states. Once that happens, them being extradited, the extradition happens, it's pretty much a wrap, for them within that point. So having an American lawyer won't do much for them in Mexico. Like I just don't see, how beneficial that would be. But that is a great question, and I do feel like the majority of them probably have. People like Nazir, probably not. But like Winter and Alysse and Dejanay, I think they definitely have, and I do think that they will fight the extradition. I don't think that they'll just go willingly. I don't feel that way.
Hmm. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Miss Pat. Isn't there's more people? Hi, hello everyone on the panel. Jump right on in when you feel.
Hello, Sean. Good evening. Thank you for having us up here. And I second that praise that she gave you because the awareness and the accuracy of what's going on, I think that you have sifted through a lot of the rumors and the discrepancies that's going on. And I wanted to weigh in on the doctor's negligence. Initially, as a nurse, the assessment of a patient, whether you know they have experienced a trauma or a spinal injury, when you're coming on the scene and you are encountering someone who is not conscious or barely conscious, you automatically assume as a medical professional that there may have been some trauma, especially involving alcohol, and the person is on the floor. You automatically want to assume that they may have sustained a fall. And secondary to that, upon you inspecting and assessing the vital signs, right? I have a hard time believing that Shanquella's vital signs were stable. The type of injuries that she has sustained at that point in time, I don't believe that her vital signs were ever stable. Okay. Now, to cover herself because she had wasted so much time in the actual room before getting help, I think she probably later on um, lied about her stability because she knows as a medical professional she was supposed to been called 911. There is no way that you can deliver any type of quality of care um, at that lengthy amount of time, especially when you know that the interventions that you put in place are not effective. She should have been called 911. And it's another thing that we use as a part of an assessment, which is we call it PERLA, which assess the ability to know whether or not someone has sustained a brain or trauma to their neurological system, which the pupils being dilated or reactive to light tells us whether or not they have sustained a head injury. So
Mhm.
she would have known almost immediately upon given a proper assessment that this young lady has sustained some type of head trauma.
Agreed. A lot of people in the chat are saying the same thing. Oh no, I agree. That's just, there's no way that she didn't know that something else had to have taken place, especially staying there for so long. Like you stayed there for hours, and from what the autopsy is reading is that she was already gone when you got there. So the police report came, which they're saying is what truly conflicts with the autopsy, is the police report. So, with that being completely off, that was told by the doctor. The doctor gave the police report. So, the doctor is literally throwing off the autopsy. So, this, to me, the doctor is just as guilty. There's no way that doctor
Absolutely.
did not know that something other than alcohol was going on with Shanquella. I
And I
just
would venture to say, could she have possibly been paid off? Because why was Nazir so adamant about what about the nurse? What about the nurse?
He said
As
why no one will mention her. And it's because I feel like his y'all paid her. Because that would have been great for everyone to have stated that a doctor came. We actually did care about her. Instead, they went remote silent. They didn't say nothing about a doctor coming or a nurse coming. So I understood where Nazir was coming with that when he said, why nobody's mentioning her? And we all thought until the police report, like because there wasn't one, because there was no mention of any
mm-hmm,
medical help or assistance to Shanquella before she was deceased, besides them getting the ambulance and calling somebody eventually calling the police. We didn't even know who called the police. Like nobody knew how the ambulance and whatnot even got there to knew what was wrong with her in the first place, that she had alcohol poisoning. We were all confused. We're thinking like, well, how could the police just come here and six people with this girl got obvious bruises and stuff, bruising on her face and all that, and six random people just tell the police that it's alcohol poisoning and they just believe them.
right.
The doctor is the reason they believed them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because she corroborated what they have already put forth. And on top of her being a medical professional and not getting outside help, points to the direction that she possibly was paid off, especially when she lied about the assessment. You just don't go from being stable to weak and thready pulses. You just don't go that way, especially because she stayed there for so very long without getting outside help. I do believe that she was paid off.
Absolutely. Hello, the other ladies of the panel. Y'all, I told y'all, hit y'all, y'all just jump right in as y'all want. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the panel. Heath says in the comments, the
Hello.
doctor did not know there would be an autopsy for Shanquella. I absolutely believe that, especially with them trying to do the death certificate as a more so of accidental death with the alcohol poisoning. With it being cut and dry that it was alcohol poisoning, there was, I think the doctor was trying to make so there would be no reason for an autopsy, and the family still requested one. So I think that that's what threw the doctor off, because the autopsy told the truth, not the doctor.
Hello.
Especially with the abrasions and the
Hi.
petechiae. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry, go
No,
ahead.
you're fine. You're fine.
No. I'm sorry. No, you can continue. It's okay.
With the abrasions and the
Yeah.
petechiae, because her eyes were bloodshot. She had blood in her eyes, which suggests that she might have even been suffocated. And because she sustained a C1, C2 spinal injury, I was speculating before we got, thanks to Down the Rabbit Hole News, who was translating the coroner's report. And in that report, it definitely points to C1, C2 injuries. And a lot of people don't know what that means. Well, cervical spine C1 is right at the base of your neck, right? And that particular part of our spine, if sustained traumatic injury, can impede our respiratory abilities, which is a part of the autonomic nervous system. And autonomic means automatic, right? We don't control whether or not we get to breathe in the next moments. So that's controlled by our central nervous system. And in that, sometimes when that happens, the injury to C1 or C2, it can result in automatic death or eventual death, because your brain tells your body or your lungs when to take the next breath. So that's why I believe that she was already expired at the time that she sustained that injury, or she was expiring. So initially, she might have been suffocating because her body was not taking the necessary inspiration and expiration cycles that it needed to take, because her brain, or her the sever the severing of her spinal cord impeded those abilities to do so. So that's why I don't believe that she was even alive, even minutes after the injury.
I would agree. Shout out
Hey,
to
Sean, can I say something really quick?
go right ahead, jump right on in, girl. Hi, Gina. Gina
Um,
B.
yes.
Hi.
Hey, Sean, you so cute. I just wanted to say, from personal experience, first of all, RIP to Shanquella. Ignorance of the law isn't going to excuse these people from the law. And when I tell you from personal experience, it's personal experience. I was locked up for 3 months until uh this girl that I had gotten into it with gotten out of the hospital. It was the craziest thing, and it woke me up really mfing quick, that not only um is it irresponsible to fight someone that you see that you're getting the best of, or a person that doesn't want to fight. Um, Also, I'm in Texas. And I know we hear a lot of the things that happen in Mexico. So for them to like not report her death, it or report it correctly isn't that far fetched. Because Afro Latinos or Afro Mexicans, females face this kind of femicide. And not just the Afro ones, the regular Mexican women, they face that. So that's one of the reasons why they had to investigate it as a femicide first. But also, in closing, I just want to say that Dejanay, the girl that's supposedly the first video, um, on everything is saying that on her LinkedIn that she's like a healthcare professional. So at the least, she's gonna get a gross negligence charge. So I just wanted to just to tell you a few things that I know that it's really messed up that they did that girl like that. And from personal experience, God saved me because I would still be locked up. You know what I'm saying? So like justice needs to be for that young lady. And yeah, I just don't think ignorance of the law should excuse them for the law. I don't think no one should feel bad for them. It's just really messed up. And that's all I wanted to say.
Well, thank you so much, Jenny B, for coming up. And I agree with you. Yeah, they all need to be locked up. Every single last one of them need to be locked up. Hi, Carmen T. Hi, Purple Lover. Hi, Amira. Hi, Danita.
Hi, Sean.
Hi,
Oh my God.
Sean.
You're the cutest thing ever. Can I just say I'm obsessed
Yes.
with you? I have been watching your videos now for the past like year and a half, and you're just the cutest thing. I feel like if we hung out, like we would get along so great. But
Oh,
no, thank you so much for like covering this with Shanquella. It's honestly a really intense situation. And I just wanted to say, for one, like the whole medical thing, the whole nurse come in. Who is this nurse? Okay. All we hear is nurse. Like what's her name? Let's like what's going on with
mhm.
that. And then also that with the police reports, it's just very sketchy. Things are just not adding up. And now I heard you say earlier in the stream that for the Mexican judicial process is different from ours. So what were you saying? Are you saying that like once they gather all their evidence, they basically just like arrest them and then they call it a day, or like how does that work?
Well, see, the thing about it is that they committed a crime and they fled the country because that's
Mm,
how it's being treated.
okay.
So a crime was committed in a country, and then the people that did it fled. So with them
Mm,
coming back and with them being extradited to go back over there, their judicial system is different from ours. So
right.
how it's just simply how they do things are
Hmm.
how they do things. Like
Okay.
it's that simple. So when if
Okay.
however they're gonna, I know that there's not going to be a trial like
Okay,
how
that's
our
what I was
judicial
saying
system.
because we have
No,
a trial that
yeah,
lasts like
no,
so much time.
no.
Okay.
Everybody here is due a trial. Not That's not how it is done in
Mm,
Mexico. Just like here
okay.
with pretty much everything, we do an autopsy for no matter what the cause is. With
Exactly. Period.
we do an autopsy no matter what,
Right.
pretty much. But in
Right.
their country, with certain circumstances,
Mm,
they do also. Our rules are different, So we can't uphold because what happens in America is going to happen in Mexico. No, it's they're their own country, so they have their own laws and and all that good stuff. So how
Right.
they choose to treat the situation, again, if this was an American crime happening in like the
Mm,
USA, then they would be due trial. But that's not
okay.
how it is in Mexico. They pretty much can just try them, just bring them, and they don't even have to do
Mm,
the substantial court dates that they have listed. They don't have.
okay.
They can say they did. We never know.
Right.
We never know. Type of
Right.
situation. If they don't want us to know, we wouldn't. It's that simple. Just like we don't know who the warrant's for. We have no idea.
Right.
No idea who, because that's how they do it in Mexico. If it was here in
Okay.
America, we would be able to see that warrant, and they
We
would be
can even see the trial. We get to watch all the
right.
evidence come out and everything, which is
Yeah.
actually a beautiful thing. I didn't realize that the freedom of speech stuff out here is it's pretty great because they don't have, just like you said, they don't have that in other countries. So that's very interesting. But I did just want to say, so if they do get, extradited out there, do you personally think that they're all going to be culpable? Because I do know out here, the laws with first degree murder and stuff, like if you are an accomplice to the murder, or a witness, you're basically culpable if you knew what was going on. So do you think that all six of the Cabo Six are going to be arrested out there, or like have the same amount of jail time, or do you think it'll be different from Dejanay towards the other ones?
I think it's dependent on how much energy we keep going for Shanquella to get justice and for all
Mm,
six Quavo people to get arrested. If
right.
we lay low and just be okay with them, if we don't when if and when Dejanay gets, from what we're gathering, extradition, if we just are leave well enough alone and just
Hmm.
okay with that and let the story go away, then
Right.
yeah, I feel like the process will slow. It will get slower. But if
Right.
we stay on top of it and keep our eye on what's going on, then I think that they will, because again, they said main aggressor. So this means a
Mm,
group of people out of this group, you were the main aggressor. So I do believe that this is just the beginning. They're using
okay.
the person who has the warrant to bring, because they're already going to bring up charges on these other people. That's why I feel like they're saying this person is the main aggressor, because they have charges for all six of them already from the
Mm,
information and the evidence that they are gathering.
okay.
Whoever goes over there is going to put the nail in the coffin to
Right.
how this investigation speeds up. If it speeds up or if it slows down, is going to be dependent on who is extradited first.
Amen. Well, thank you, Sean, for covering this for real. And I'm so glad I got to talk to you.
Oh,
Okay, guys, you
thanks for
guys
coming up.
can.
Hey Sean, hey,
Hi,
how are you
I'm good.
doing?
How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I just want to say, I want to give you your flowers, and just say thank you so much for the research and the investigation that you've been doing. Because if it wasn't for you, you're one of the main people that I watch on YouTube, and I live in the UK,
I can hear it.
and so whenever you go live, like it's different time zones. Yeah, it's like in the AMs and things like that. So.
I'm sorry.
um no, you don't have to be sorry. It's okay. It's good. It's good. It's good. But what I have to say is with this situation with Shanquella, I think that's her name, right?
Hmm. Yep. Shanquella.
From the moment you started like reporting about her situation, it immediately broke my heart. Because the situation is so devastating, and I'm such an empath. I'm a Virgo.
Me too.
I'm such an empath, and I can only imagine how I can't even begin to even imagine how her parents feel, and especially her real friends, that really love her and her family and things like that. So I just want to say my condolences to them, and I feel for them, and I even prayed for her from the moment you started reporting about her death. It didn't sit well with my spirit, with how the situation ended up with her. Just like the same way, my spirit is still hurt about the whole takeoff situation, because I feel like he was just a bystander, and he just got caught in the crossroads, you know, of the situation, which is
Right.
very unfortunate. So I also want to say rest in peace to him and his family, condolences to him as well. Um, But on Shanquella, I just want to say that one thing that I have realized while watching your lives and everything is that you've made me realize how it's important for us to pay attention to the snakes in the grass. The people who say they love you, the people say who, celebrate you and things like that. It's made me be more aware of who's really like your ride or die type, type of situation. And I just feel like with her death, there's so many lessons you can learn from that situation, and things like that. And I just feel like it's also made me realize the value of life. You know, we experienced lockdown. The whole world went on lockdown. I never thought that would ever be possible, but the whole world literally went on lockdown, and we were isolated. We couldn't see our friends, our families, even if your families were like, infected by the virus and things like that. You couldn't, even if they were at the hospital, you can even go there to see them and to comfort them. And I just feel like, in this world that we're living in right now, it's almost like we're living in the dark ages, because I feel like, so many people are becoming so desensitized. Desensitized. Oh, I can't say the word. My tongue is twisting, but like desensitized. Like, we don't even value other people's lives and how it's gonna affect their families and things like that. And um, this whole gang culture, people being in gangs and things like that, and like, representing, West Side, East Coast, and I get it, but it's just like all we're doing, we're just killing ourselves, as Black people. And it's making me realize that, like, there has to be a change that needs to happen, because we're only going to lose more great people in our lives, you know
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Sean, did
very.
you see that video that is alluding to a second video being in the hands of the authorities?
Correct. No, I don't. No one's seen it. It's as of now, it's a rumor. It's not a. Again, I'm not going to say the video is not in existence. It just keeps being alluded to. But if the FBI does have it, again, I could see why it's not public. But I mean, not that it should be public. Again, it's the alleged demise video. So I don't. I feel like we're already too desensitized when it comes to stuff like that as it is. So I hope the video doesn't come out. Honestly, I don't want to see it just because I don't feel like we need to. It's not anything for us to see. As long as the police have it, I feel like that's all that's necessary. If there is a second video, I do think that it in some way, shape, or form, the officials will let us know. Like rather it's them when they go to court down there for the first time, because there will be no trial or anything like that. But all I'm thinking is whoever they're trying to extradite, they can fight it. Are they already in the process of that? Is what I'm thinking. Because things should be moving a little faster than this if everybody is on the same accord. If America says we'll extradite, if Mexico says will you meet us in with Interpol and whatnot and be okay with doing this to extradite them, and they said yeah, everybody said yes. So if all systems are green, if all systems are go, what are we waiting for?
Right.
I think Mexico is probably trying to sift through who is actually culpable, because here in the US, some states say the hand of one is the hand of all. But in Mexico, they made the reason why I think that they went after Dejanay first is because that's the only video that's out right now.
Hold on one second. It takes 15 days. Here's the thing with it taking 15 days and with Interpol, this case is way too big for them not to act quickly. So what is the point of Interpol taking 15 days and letting the whole world know that basically in 15 days we coming to get you, and these people not run and hide? Like it's too public, like it's too big. So it's just like you would think they would speed the process up just because of how big this case is. Let's keep letting the people that we're about to collect know our every move. So when we about to come get them, when we about to do this, when we about to do that, they know everything that's going on. So let's keep letting them be 10 steps ahead of us when it should be the other way around. They should be ahead of the criminals, not the criminals ahead of them. Because
Well,
prosecution and getting them over there is not going to just be the police could, but I don't think that they're going to do it without following protocol with getting them over there. If there's a process with fighting extradition, they with their American rights, they are given the right to fight extradition. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like this could get a lot messier than what people think. And what I'm thinking is they could already be running into that problem. Yes.
oh, what I was going to say is that some of the complication can be international law, so they don't want an international incident because it's kind. When you're dealing with the bureaucracy, it's a lot of red tape to it, and it's a lot of hairy situations that we as the public would not see, but can be a consequence later. And I also think part of the issue is why things are looking the way that they're looking is a lot of people do not realize there is now a law in the United States that if they can prove that you went to another country to commit a crime, they can prosecute you here. And that came as a result of the trafficking issue and things that was going on. So they
Hold on,
they
Papa,
recently
I have a question about
okay.
that. Isn't that only when the country does not take on the crime themselves, prosecute? That's the only time you can do that if the country where the crime has happened, if they will not prosecute.
If they're not going to prosecute the other ones, that's what I'm saying. This could still come into play, which is why I think why they're being so silent, because there was a lot of stuff that was being said that could kind of like make it a gray area where the law could really come after them because of what was being said.
Agreed. That's why I say that I feel that whoever Winter or Dejanay, whoever the warrant is for, here's the thing: if with the warrant, if they can get her extradited, whoever the warrant is for, and they go down there in Mexico and they go to court, or before they go to court, they spill the beans and they say everything that is needed. Mexico will not have to prosecute the Cabo Five, the last five that will be left, because America could do it. America could prosecute them for what they did in Mexico if Mexico chooses not to. So Mexico can just take Dejanay and put her in Mexican jail and just decide that, you know what, we're not going to prosecute them. Then America will do it. Then America's like, okay, well, y'all don't have to. We will. Type of situation. So that's what I'm saying. The main person is more important for them to get. So it's like we need to get whoever that warrant is for over there. Like we need to get them there so that it could be a domino effect, you know, type of situation to where America takes over and prosecutes the rest of the people themselves. Then we ain't gotta wait for Interpol or none of that. America could just handle it. Y'all put them in the worst prison we got. It could be that simple, you know, but we got to get that first.
I agree with you. I completely agree with that.
First, that has to happen first. And then Mexico, they don't have to prosecute the other five. Let America do it. America can prosecute.
Yeah, because America has a way, once you get that bullseye on your chest with the government, they can get really creative and find ways to come after you. And the things that was concerning me is I was hearing a lot of people saying, and it was driving me crazy at the time, because my mother is a retired registered nurse. So I grew up hearing a lot of medical stuff. When you're dealing with alcohol poisoning, really, they want to really monitor you closely, because when I was in college, I was looking at a show about alcohol poisoning, and the doctor said, we like to monitor these people overnight because your heart can get so tired that it will forget to beat. So the fact that even if we went with the narrative that this was alcohol poisoning, the fact that she did nothing to really get her into a hospital situation, I would love to know what the liability would look like for a nurse that did that in Mexico. Because here, a nurse license can be um, taken away for that, and they can legally be prosecuted for not doing their due diligence as a nurse. So I'm curious to see what would come of that
No, that
because she
I
did not
but
give
again,
appropriate medical care.
yeah, in Mexico, their how
Hmm.
they have their situation set up. Again, I feel like a lot of because we're born here in America that we feel that it's the same everywhere, and it's like no, it's not.
Oh, I know
So
it's not the
we
same.
have
That's why I'm
no
curious to.
idea how they, because here in America, like your right license and things would be taken if
Mhm.
that type of situation would have transpired. In Mexico, I don't know if it works like that. I don't know if it's the same rules. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
that's why I was curious to really. I would love. I might do some research myself to see what the laws would look like with something like that, because that area is known for not really um, making crimes in that area a priority because their even their police were being annihilated by what was going on there. So the likelihood of a response being given, I'm kind of curious to what that would look like, even if they chose to go that route. How much would be done in a case like that?
No, I absolutely agree. Hi, Carmen T, Danita, Amira. Is it Amira? Did I have that right?
Amira.
Hi. Carmen's up here twice. Okay. Whoever wants to speak, you just jump right on it. Hello, welcome to the panel. Y'all jump
Hi,
right on in. Hi.
this is Carmen. I love your show. I just wanted to point out two things. In that fight video, if you find the original fight video, if you go back and look at it all the way, the Alice or Alysse girl is saying, and Khalil pulls her back and says, no. You have to look at it very carefully and very slowly. It's at the very end. And at that card game,
Mhm.
she tagged Alysse as not being a participator to whoever flakes. So I don't think Winter ran from a back room to save her because Winter was recording. So how could she save her if she's recording?
No, agreed. I agree with that too. That
That's all I
winter.
wanted to say.
No,
And I
I
think
agree.
we need to find that card game. If we can, as a group, collectively find that card game to see if there was a fight, like on one of the cards, like beat somebody up or something.
Oh,
That's
that's
all I had to
good.
say. I love your show.
Oh, thank you, Carmen. Oh, yeah, we need to look into that. Now you got me want to look into that, girl.
Okay, bye bye.
Feed that to me. Thank you for coming up, sweetie.
Thank you.
Amira.
Oh yeah, I already spoke. I just wanted to agree with her with the whole video part of it. I definitely think that Elise was the one that came from the back room. And I was also just gonna say with the whole police and the nurse situation, I think that it's very corrupt out there. There's actually been a lot of situations that have happened out in Mexico where if you look into it recently, there's been a lot of like mysterious weird deaths from like people from America, and they don't investigate it fully. So I think that this whole situation is kind of like a big rabbit hole, and we're going to out a lot, once they do get extradited and tried for what they did.
I couldn't agree with you more. I absolutely agree. Any closing remarks, ladies, before I close the show out? Thank you all for coming up on the panel. Thank you all so
I
much.
wanted to say right quick, I had because it's so emotionally triggering for me, I was staying away from commentating on it until your live yesterday. And when Mexico let her escape, I, I decided to, because I know that she's going to be Googling her name and seeing what people are saying. So I decided to research the treatment of females in Mexican jails. And it's horrific.
Mhm.
Not only do they have the women housed in the same facilities as the men, but they also, it's ran by the the mafia, right? So they prostitute the women out within the jails, and a lot of the women have their children there with them. And so it's a lot of abuse that's going on towards the women and the children.
Mhm.
So when Dejanay is finally, excuse me, is finally brought to justice, I want her to know that she has a lot of horrors to look forward to. And thank you, Sean. It's
Mhm.
been a great show.
Thank you so much for coming up, sweetie. Shout out to All About the Trees and Carmen T. Thank y'all so much for coming up. Everybody that came up on the panel, I couldn't remember all y'all names. There was a lot of you. But thank you all so much. And I hope you guys come back up. I love to hear from you. But we will be live again. We're at our 2-hour mark. We will be live again tomorrow with a completely different show. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. So it'll definitely be about that. So yeah, here Flip. All of the people that want me to talk about other things, I won't be. Gross. Don't like it, don't watch. That's all I can tell you. I do not care. I will not stop talking about Shanquella until she gets justice. It is what it is. Don't like it, don't watch. That will be my only advice. But yeah, thank you to everybody that supports me and that watches. Please make sure you like and subscribe. We will be live again tomorrow. If any development comes up, I'll just throw it on live or put a video together real quick and let you know what's going on, and we will definitely go from there. There's allegedly a second tape. No one has, again, seen this tape with their own 2 flesh eyeballs. So until then, the tape is still alleged. We don't know. We're still waiting to find certain things out. I will be right here live and in color to let you know exactly what's going on, as much as we know. So my goodness, I love you guys. So until the next show, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Have a good night. Bye.
Fresh, fresh, flex, fresh, fresh, flex.